Greetings, everyone. And welcome to a hopeful edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party. Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party. Monster Party. Monster Party. That's Godzilla. I think you're.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right.
But before we get into all this kaiju craziness, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am SHAWN Sheridan.
I'm Larry STROTHE.
And I'm James GONIS.
And as teased for this episode, this is one that we really haven't done before. We've done the character involved with the topic, but we have not done this angle. And I find it fascinating. I think it's going to be very interesting. It's unique. And I'm curious to see what this episode gives birth to.
Yes.
Hopefully not Manila, but okay.
And what is this birthing topic?
The topic is, are you Godzilla curious?
Are you Godzilla curious?
Are you? Are you Godzilla curious? I want to know. Oh, we're sued. And we're sued.
No, but there's a lot of people who are asking questions about
This
Godzilla.
is true, Larry.
There's a lot of Godzilla stuff out there, but
it's bigger than ever.
Yes, believe it or not, there may be some people that are not as into Godzilla as we are.
Can you imagine?
Come on.
I know it's shocking.
No, they went to see Godzilla -1 and they're like, oh wow, this is actually pretty cool. What else should I be seeing?
Right.
Yes. But
and then we go right to Godzilla's Revenge, and
okay,
we know we've got him.
Now, but look, for us to do this, we need some great guests. We need some curious guests. We need guests who either know about Godzilla or are curious about Godzilla. What are we going to do here?
Or both. Well, this is perfect because we've got two great first-time guests tonight with us who are both Tomato Meter approved film critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
Our first guest is the editor-in-chief of We Live Entertainment and writer and editor of the Blu-ray review website Why So Blue. He co-hosts the podcasts Out Now with Aaron and Abe and Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla. Welcome, Aaron Neuwirth.
Aaron Neuwirth.
Hello, hi. How we doing?
Oh, we're doing great. But there's someone else.
Yes. Our second guest happens to be Aaron's co-host on the Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla podcast.
Cool.
He's an award-winning producer and director. His film reviews and the podcast can be found on his website, lennoirauteur.net. He's also a self-confessed awards season obsessive and Criterion film collector. Let's welcome Terence Johnson.
Terence Johnson!
Welcome.
Oh, Terence and Aaron!
Both
Thanks,
black
guys, for being with us.
What?
Thanks for being here tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks for welcoming us here.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Now, we met Aaron at Monsterpalooza.
That's right.
Sure did.
And it was very exciting. You know, he came by, and next thing you know, we're talking about everything Godzilla, and we're arguing about things, and it's just like he's an additional member of the podcast. So
Oh my gosh. Aaron, talking to you, I just wanted to let you know, talking to you, I felt like we were doing a show.
Right.
And you were such a pro. And I'm like, who is this guy? You know, this guy is great. I loved talking to you.
It was such a me thing to do, as far as I see a group of people talking on microphones at a convention, and I'm like, I need to be a part of this conversation.
I hear you.
Next thing we know, I'm like sitting there for like 20 minutes of you guys holding a microphone in my hand.
Hey, you know what?
You gotta love crossovers too, because if we have other podcasters on, we know they're not going to pull a Cindy Brady and not know what to talk into. Yeah, it's a microphone. You know what to do.
Right.
And it was so easy talking to you. I know that we could have like brushed people aside, but it was Monsterpalooza. We need to give, time to other people and stuff, but I'm so glad to have you on the show. But I want to get into this with Terence too. I wanted to know how this Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla, where did this come from?
So I actually pulled up the email from June 12th, 2020, when I first had the idea of maybe doing like a mini series of podcasts about Godzilla, because I know Aaron is a gigantic fan. And I'd seen, as I mentioned on the podcast, I've seen some of them.
And I'm a podcaster that like commits. So
Yeah.
like you're gonna ask me, it's like, yeah, I probably actually do.
Yeah, and we were both like, we might be too busy. So after seeing -1, the idea came back up, and I was like, oh, we should do this, and our lives have finally aligned, and we are now watching all of the films from beginning to end. We'll at least be going until 2027 because we know there's another one, a legendary one.
Right.
Yeah.
Until that. So yeah, it's been fun for me getting to, explore these movies, a lot of them for the first time. And
Terrence
Aaron
has some notion of how many there are, but not entirely.
Yeah, I don't tell me. I've said I'm on the journey.
Oh no.
I've got on the train. I don't want to know how many stops.
He knows the next couple eras aren't as long as the Showa era. We have that going for us.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. I'm almost envious, Terrence, of you at this stage, because I take it that the Monster Party guys are a bit older than you two, because we grew up exposed to Godzilla when we were kids in the 70s, and
It was on TV all the time.
yeah, but Godzilla really, throughout our adulthood to now, Godzilla's always been around in some incarnation. I mean, there's never been that huge of a gap of an absence of Godzilla. And kind of like Batman, he just changes and morphs into different ways, and he's presented in different ways, but he's always around, and we've seen that progression, that evolution of him, and you're kind of in the middle of that right now.
Yeah.
I think Godzilla is unique too, because if you look at the films starting from the first one through Millennium and what is it? How is it pronounced? Reiwa?
Yeah, the Reiwa.
There's so many different takes on Godzilla, and there's so many different kinds of tones that accompany these films. I mean, from a very serious symbol of atomic war, and then you start to get into a little bit more of like he's a superhero, and then he's almost like a Barney the dinosaur in some ways. He's like a kid's friend. And then it gets serious again, and then it gets, I mean, there's so many ways to handle Godzilla, and my view of this is they're all right, all of them.
Sure.
Well, it's like a Rorschach test. You look at it, you can interpret it any way. There is no wrong answer.
Exactly. Right. Yes. Whoever you are, there is a Godzilla for you.
That
I agree with. Yes. Yeah. Some of them have not been for me, but yes, I agree. There
now, this is a good way to start this. I am curious, which one, when you say not for you, immediately comes to mind?
Oh, gosh. Son of Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting. Okay.
Really?
I get it.
You've attacked Larry's cousin over here. It looks like this is how we're
Okay, no. Okay, now look, just to be clear.
My grandson's nephew?
Well.
Are you a Manila fan? Is that why?
Yes, I am, sir. And let me just tell you.
Wait a minute.
I have a beef. And just in fairness,
beef
for
everyone,
opinion. For everyone listening, Terrence has not seen every Godzilla film. He's
That's
only in, like the first 10, and then the last couple, unlike with the exception of the legendary ones. But my beef was, I like how you guys take a film and you kind of analyze it. You go through it. You give it the synopsis and you say what you liked, and the first thing is you rip into the music for Son of Godzilla, and then and Aaron, what is this? And Aaron, what is it? No, the music's kind of like adventure. Hey, I'm on an adventure, and then Aaron, you have the gall. What you
the gall?
The poor little Manila. He comes out of the egg and go, oh, that's such an ugly guy. Hey, buddy, what baby doesn't come out that looks ugly?
He's got a point there.
They all kind of.
As I believe I said in the exact same sentence you're describing. If the baby's ugly, I'm just like,
It's like you don't have to say everybody's
kind of
kids are cute.
saying the words.
right.
Oh, well, I can see if there's any dads here. It's like, oh, that kid looks disgusting.
Well, even Godzilla was kind of like, I don't know if I want any part of this.
It's not like Manila's constantly being born here. He grows up a little bit. He's not always in the egg. he doesn't
And
get
he's still
better.
ugly.
Like,
And Aaron, and look, you guys, you kind of laugh at the bug creatures. They're poking at this poor little defenseless baby that just came out of an egg. I mean, I thought that when the first time I saw it, I was flipping out. I thought, is someone going to save this little baby? Is that, baby Manila? And when you guys say he was an ugly monster, I know that there's a thing out there where people fall in love with little ugly things, little ugly creatures, or whatever.
yeah, many
isn't that
toys. Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say this: there is a toy that came out in the late '60s. It is a Minya or Manila, and many of the collectors didn't want it because they felt it looked too ugly in its plastic form. But
what about the movie? Let's talk about the movie, because
you're making it sound like we left a bunch of adopted puppies on the side of a freeway here. You're like, oh no, $20 worth of plastic wasn't bought. Like, what are we doing?
Did you find that the native lady was kind of sexy? I guess when I saw it, I was younger, and when I see her swimming, I'm all, oh wow, oh, to me it had.
That's not creepy at all.
No, come on, Sean.
She was good in the movie.
Yeah, I said that was a point in Toho's where they were going more for a younger audience, but also it was the island era where they were instead of the more expensive cityscapes for Godzilla to destroy, they went for the tropical island. But I appreciate that movie now more, actually, because I really like the kind of tropical vibe it has. And I love the ending where the poignant ending in the snow with the Godzilla, adult Godzilla and baby Godzilla. But also, I would say the most disappointing thing about it, because first of all, I love the giant mantis, the praying mantis creatures are great villain monsters. They're great bad guy kaiju. But the design of Godzilla, I did not like that. That's one of the weakest designs of Godzilla, I thought, in that film.
Well, that's uniformly, even by the creators of the films, they don't like that suit either. I reviewed all the films in the past couple of weeks, and one of the things I got from Son of Godzilla, one of the high points, well, there's really two. The one you mentioned was, the ending. I think that is kind of poignant and sweet. But in the beginning, just before we even get into a lot of the monster action, when you've got the mantises out there in the forest with their glowing eyes, that's really creepy. Yeah. And then when you get into Minya getting smacked by the mantises, I mean, I was young at the time when I first saw it, but I was like, ow, wow, why are they picking on that kid? Because, I was that kid.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, and I think maybe it says something about our background, like Terence. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a very large family, and I was beat up by my older brothers. So, I felt for little Minya. So maybe that's why I grabbed onto it so much.
With Manila, my struggle with that character is I think about him like Courage the Cowardly Dog, where like in that cartoon, Courage is scared of everything. But at some point in the episode, he is going to figure it out and protect, his owners. And Manila rarely, if ever, does.
Rises to the challenge.
He does that more in Godzilla's Revenge.
Yes. Well, that's my question, Terence.
He kind of hops on the glory and destroy all monsters. Also, is like, me too.
Yes.
Like,
And I helped. Hold me back.
Exactly.
Hold me back.
Are you saying, Terence, that you prefer Godzilla's Revenge to Son of Godzilla?
Ooh. I have not seen Godzilla's Revenge yet.
No, that's all. No, you have. That's All Monsters Attack. It's the same.
Oh, All Monsters Attack. Okay,
the Japanese title.
Yes. With that's the bank robber.
I
actually
prefer Son of Godzilla more than I prefer All Monsters Attack.
Okay.
Really?
All Monsters Attack might be the worst of the of the Showa era.
I used to think that.
I disagree. I disagree.
Pleasure now, but come on, it's Godzilla versus the stock footage.
Well, yes,
that's why.
Yes, there is a lot of stock footage. However, you have a brand new monster, Gabara, which I think is great. I love that monster.
Gabara's badass.
Gabara is badass. I think it is a really good kids movie. It is.
Yes. I think we agreed on that when we watched it. But like as an adult, the plot is like what's been really interesting about watching these movies for me is that I'm a big disaster movie fan, so I love watching cities that I've been to or lived in get destroyed. And and so I enjoy the kaijus of it, but the human plots tend to be what make the movies for me. Like if the human plot is utter foolishness, I'm not gonna enjoy the movie. And the human plots don't have to be like the most deep, heart-wrenching thing you've ever seen. Like Invasion of Astro Monster is one of the craziest movie plots ever.
I love that
on screen, but I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, with All Monsters Attack, I was kind of like waiting for it to like just like come around, and the story never really quite comes around to like why we're dealing with, Manila and this little kid who's getting hunted by these bank robbers who don't necessarily need to hunt him. They just feel like they're doing it for sport at some point. So yeah, All Monsters Attack. All Monsters Attack is not the worst movie we've seen because Aaron has made me take a couple of side trips as we've been doing this. So we watch.
I mean, as the Godzilla expert, Aaron, where do you place it?
Where do I place what? All Monsters Attack?
Yeah, or also called Godzilla's Revenge.
Yeah. It's interesting because we've been doing this rewatch, so I've been making like my own private ranking on Letterboxd. We already have like no official rank, not that it matters, official, like I've trademarked it, but like I've been doing a ranking of based on like this iteration of me watching all these movies.
Yeah.
And All Monsters Attack, like sometimes I like it more than I don't, but this feeling really kind of took it out of me as far as being not the most favorable watch. That said, Abira still doesn't do anything for me. Every time I watch Abira, like I want it to be better.
And interesting. Yeah.
It's not, now this isn't counting because as Terrence has kind of hinted at, we've watched some Toho kaiju films that aren't Godzilla films.
Sure.
One of those is the one I think both Terrence and I are the least on of everything that we've watched here.
Yes.
Which is Varan, Varan?
Unbelievable.
Varan the Unbelievable. Yeah, we're not...
Varan always gets the bad rap though, man. I gotta tell you.
Varan is a great monster in a bad movie.
Yeah.
Varan is dreadful.
Did you watch the American version?
I watched the Japanese version.
He watched the Japanese.
Okay.
And Aaron watched the American one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it has one of the funniest scenes in any movie I've ever seen, which is where Varan sort of leaps out of the lake like a spider monkey, like a flying squirrel, and flies out. I laughed so hard. But yeah, Varan. I mean, obviously, it was made for TV and then got.
It was,
cut up and just all of the craziness.
New American scenes added. Yeah, I will say about Godzilla's Revenge. I think Matt, you'll agree about this. I think we've talked about this. Is that what I really like now when I watch it as an adult is the bizarre tone and atmosphere of it that don't take place on the island, because you have this kid who's in this horribly oppressive industrial kind of city that is just this ugly city with pollution everywhere, and he's just lonely kid,
latchkey kid who's
and he's beat up
on his own.
He doesn't have like parents,
and he's losing his mind clearly. He's mentally ill.
All the fumes from the chemical plants around him.
Exactly,
That's
right.
true.
He's letting the water.
It's like so he escapes into this fantasy world, and of course when I was a little kid I saw it, and when you first see Minnie go, "Hey, how you doing there?" Like it was like, what the fuck is going on?
That's when it had me.
But now I find it fascinating because there's no other Godzilla movie like it. It's so weird.
With a couple tweaks, it could be a David Lynch movie.
Yes.
Well, it's also
that too. Yes, but I do think like it's a matter of if it had budget, that doesn't necessarily make everything better, but it would make everything worse. That's for sure. If it had more money to do, less stock footage,
$2 instead of 50 cents. Yes.
Yeah, more, more work on either creating some kind of weird dystopian society that makes sense for this kid to want to escape into his imagination, or do less stock footage and have more things to do on the monster island he imagines himself on, or just eliminate everything about the bank robbery plot. Like any number of those things, I think would make it a better movie. But I do agree with you. It's certainly unique into the Godzilla franchise. Unlike other Godzilla films, it is made for a specific audience, no question. That said, there are good kids movies and bad kids movies, just like there are good movies of any genre and bad versions of them. Just because it's for a specific audience doesn't make it automatically good. I get that they can register colors and fun, but they can also appreciate ones that are better on that level at the same time.
Yeah.
I do prefer it to Frozen. I will say that.
Oh, okay. No. We're not going there. We're not going there. James,
But
you had something?
talking about the dubbing of Minya's voice, I mean, are you watching the Japanese original dialogue versions,
Yes.
audio
Japanese
versions for the most part?
Yeah, we're trying to be as
Oh, okay.
pure as we
Authentic.
can.
Right.
We did watch the original and then the American recut of the original.
Yeah, we watched Gojira, then we watched Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to have like that as an interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. That's thorough. That's great. Yeah.
Well, as we're on the topic of starting with Godzilla King of the Monsters, Aaron, I know you're going in chronological order, but I'm curious if you had a total newbie, somebody who had never seen a Godzilla movie, and it's like, which one should I start with in, say, the Showa era? What would you recommend?
I'd still want to start with Godzilla just to give them an idea of this is why this exists. Like there's as much as it's geared towards eventually having more fun, I think it's important to have the backing of there's a reason this thing came about to begin with, and it's important to have that kind of understanding before you get into all the fun silliness that comes to follow. After that, like if I was going to program like 3, right, to like get you just like into this thing, I'd say this. I'd say, Gojira. I'd say probably Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster, just like because it's bringing in multiple monsters. It's giving you like more of this kind of wacky plotting, but it's not going too far in because it's more like it's still focused on the monsters and not like the alien threat that's behind it exactly. Like it's not going head first in there like Invasion of Astro Monster does one movie later. I mean, then I like it's hard just to say then I go destroy all monsters, but it's hard not to say go destroy all monster. I mean, like
can't go wrong with destroy all monsters.
You want the Avengers of the Godzilla,
because you already have 3-headed. If you have a Ghidorah movie, you have a Ghidorah movie, right? So
exactly.
Maybe I jump ahead like all the way up to like Mechagodzilla, just to like show like how far this series will go by the time it gets towards the end of the show era.
Yeah, that's
which is kind of what happened with Terrence and I. We watched as we started this. They played. Down at a theater by us, at the Frida Theater in Santa Ana, they played Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and they don't, you guys know, they don't play these on the big screen very often. So
I know.
So when they do, I've decided basically that Terrence and I should probably take advantage of this as often as possible.
Yeah.
And so while we were only, I think, 2, maybe 3 deep at the time.
I think it was the third one I saw, the third movie we watched. Yeah.
So it felt like, well, we should jump on this. So we did watch Mechagodzilla way ahead of time before we got so that's putting Terrence from a stark serious film to okay, Anguirus is around, that's cool, to there's aliens, and there's a beast that's hitting in a rock somewhere,
and it's like the funky 70s too.
There's the 70s sounds,
and they're also apes, and
it's got everything.
People,
honestly, I put Mecha in there as one of those early ones to show, because like it was like he didn't tell me anything about this, so I literally did not know that I was going to be experiencing any sort of alien hijinks.
Nice.
But that was such a great way to break into this nonsense, because there have been so many alien plots, and I really loved Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, so it was like I have that great foundation of like liking something with aliens in it, and it's great because we have seen about 10 aliens have factored into the plot.
And Terrence, I would say, me personally, the original Mechagodzilla, one of my favorite kaiju, still the coolest looking like robot Godzilla ever.
Great design.
The 70s Mechagodzilla. I love it.
Before the
you're
screening,
going to see a lot of variations of Mechagodzilla and Terrence over the
Oh yes.
coming, and this first one, I think I would agree with you. I think it's just a rock solid, cool idea for a kaiju.
So it's just cool.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Now you brought up Ghidorah, and I love that movie, but that is a movie where I start to see a lot of the goofy stuff that would be doubled down on later creeping in. First of all, the aliens wearing the Renaissance fair, or no, I'm sorry, they're not aliens. They're the people from that country who are wearing the Renaissance fair collars, and all of that is just like, what are you doing? Really? You guys went to the warehouse and you came up with that? Okay. And then the other thing is that when the monsters start talking to each other through the Mothra fairies, when, like, well, Godzilla, he doesn't want to fight anyone because human beings have been so cruel to him. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
That is one of the silliest moments that we have had on our podcast. It's one of my favorite audio clips that I pulled. But I was in utter disbelief that Godzilla would fix his lips to say the humans are bullying them.
Right, how dare you?
Godzilla has caused billions, trillions, quadrillions of dollars worth of damage.
But that was the big moment where the Godzilla went from threat to hero, where the Mothra twins convinced all the kaiju that they had to rise up against Ghidorah together.
That's true.
Team up.
That's true.
Before that, they were all menaces. After that, Godzilla was a hero.
They serve the greater good.
Yeah, Rodan is still a mess, but yes, Godzilla got.
We all know. Rodan's a giant dick.
He's his own thing. Yeah, he's a lone wolf.
He likes to fly. He flies, and when you do that,
yes, he does fly, Larry.
Yes, but when you do that soaring thing, you're kind of a loner.
He's the Peter Fonda of
okay.
Larry's like the defense attorney for all these kaiju. It's like,
Aaron, I'm
this
just
guy
trying to give it
Rodan, he
some-
just likes to fly around. Ghidorah's not that bad. He just has 3 heads.
If he could flip you off, he would.
I'm just trying to look at it logically.
Don't do that.
If Rodan's upset, he just, I'm out of here.
I just like picture you
much.
like on a giant billboard with your finger pointed to the sky saying, "It's not the monster's fault," and you like call 1-800-555.
Look, and in fairness, I mean, if we left the monsters alone, I mean, wouldn't things be better off?
I don't think so.
No.
Well, Rodan, yes, because I'm trying to figure out, was that Invasion of Astro Monster or one of the movies where Rodan is just sleeping peacefully in a volcano and some guy,
That is.
He's just chilling.
and some
How long
guy
is that
is
gonna
like,
last, though?
I'll go get the hat that's flown down in the volcano.
And by the Fukuda era, they're basically just on Monster Island, just like doing their own thing most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, nuclear testing is upset our sleeve, or the Kylax are coming in. Like it's just so no form of nonsense that upsets everybody's status quo.
But isn't it nice when Rodan, he's flying around, there's plenty of dolphins in the sea for him to eat, I guess.
Hey, I want to see the.
Oh, Japan.
I want to see the
Japan and the dolphins.
No, I don't mean it that way.
But like the prequel to Destroy All Monsters is what I want to see. I want to see how did they corral all the monsters from the world to that island? How did they do that? I want to see that whole story.
That's the fan fiction.
The creation of Ogasawara Island.
Timeshare.
It's a huge stick, and they put a big animal on the end of it, and they just laid it in front of them. And
Terrence, you did see that one, Destroy All Monsters. Right?
I have seen Destroy All
watched it in the
Monsters.
theater.
We saw it at
Idiots.
Idiots, yeah.
Were you excited?
Nice.
Were you excited when you see Varan and you're all, hey, I guess I'm going to see lots of him, and because there he is.
Varan. I apologize to the Varanites all the time on our podcast because it's like I just truly do not care about Varan.
He's got a short shrift. Like
I'm a fan. He didn't get the best
better.
I like his close up. His big. His
face is great.
It is a cool monster design.
Yeah.
I just wish they would have. You get all of these amazing scenes of destruction, but they're in like 3 different scales. So at one time, Varan is the size of a tree, and then he's bigger than the mountains, and then it's just that movie. Yeah, that movie didn't do him any favors.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, to prepare for Destroy All Monsters specifically, that's why we watched Varan. We also watched Mothra and Rodan, the separate movies, and then we watched Frankenstein versus Baragon, and of course, obviously, the War of the Tarantulas. You just can't
right.
that.
Well, it's like the Avengers of the Toho Kaiju
That's what
film.
I've been saying. Yeah, that's
right.
I want Terrence to be up to date on all the various appearances of monsters that would be involved, with the exception, I guess, of Gorosaurus.
Right.
Was that the snake?
No, that's Manda.
That's Manda.
Oh yeah, that was the one that we.
It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex looking guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was in King Kong Escapes. Right.
Yeah,
it was also kind of unnecessary. Like we already have a dinosaur guy.
I kind of like him though. I don't know.
He looks good, but he's there's nothing really unique about him.
Yeah.
His name is Gorosaurus. That's what's unique about him.
But he's got the kangaroo jump though.
All right.
Well, you can do that. Yes.
Okay, bit of trivia. I believe, from what I've read, Gorosaurus coming up from the Arc de Triomphe in Paris and Destroy All Monsters, that was supposed to be Baragon, because Baragon is a tunnel dweller. He's subterranean.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a problem with the costume. So, or for whatever reason, it was Gorosaurus coming up from under the ground.
Right.
But in the dub, in like the AIP dub, they call Gorosaurus Baragon.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Interesting.
Wow.
The same
I
reason
wonder
why
if it was
Varan-
the ears that he got stuck
did
on.
an ear get? Oh,
Because
that
that's its
ear
main
is messed
feature
up.
as far as
Put
like
it together.
Yeah.
That's also why Varan is not in the movie that much because the costume was just too old and raggedy.
Right.
So, like,
They just had the
yeah,
puppet.
but- So,
Right.
yeah, they just have it like, in the background.
Yeah, there he is.
Just he's window dressing.
In the back.
Yeah.
Standing way in the
There's
back.
too much blue sky over there. Get a Varan puppet.
Back farther. Back farther.
Man, Toho has milked that cameo for all that it's worth because in every Destroy All Monsters publicity, Varan is there.
Oh, he's
Right,
there.
but-
Yeah.
He's
Because
in
they
my
like to-
poster. I got him.
Yeah,
No.
because they want to tout in the promotion. They want to tout how many monsters there are. Like a ton of monsters in this. You know.
Mhm.
Varan's is like Frodo looking at Legolas at the end and being like, "Oh yeah, you were there. That's great."
Don't say mean things
also.
about.
I'm so glad you
Yoda.
lived.
Yeah, Varan is the guy at the party who comes up to you and goes, I was in Destroy All Monsters, right?
He's Sonny at the Hollywood Collector Show. He's
no,
Sonny.
it's funny. I don't remember you at all. No, I was in it. Remember, I was in the back.
Terrence, I'm curious. So Godzilla is a kind of new thing. Oh, here's Godzilla in this movie, but you've seen all these different monsters. Do you have like a second favorite? Is there a monster you go, I think that one's really cool?
Oh, I love Mothra.
Really?
I love Mothra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
The Queen of the Monsters.
I love Mothra.
I am annoyed by how much caterpillar Mothra I have to endure.
Yes.
No.
Yes, I agree.
Because I want to see the beautiful. I want the full experience with the wings and all of that. And
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you kind of wanted
But
that
he
in the
doesn't
Ghidorah, the
crawl
three-headed
like
monster. You
I
wanted to see the-
enjoy. I don't mind caterpillar Mothra, but I'm just like,
Right.
when are we going to get to the full?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
It's also kind of ridiculous when you see like the little caterpillar on Godzilla's tail, and you're like, "Really? Come on!"
No,
this is
it's
like
not
it'd be
ridiculous.
like, he could just kick him off like kicking a dachshund.
Mothra
you know?
is so
He's
strong.
He's got sharp teeth, Matt. He grabs onto that tail.
Queen of the Monsters.
I want to believe it, Larry. I want to believe it.
But this
but
is
I have
also-
trouble.
In my opinion, this is also where Legendary really screwed up because their design of Mothra's majestic
Boring.
with this incredible wingspan. Legendary made it an insect.
Yeah, it's more like
no.
Batra from the later Heisei
Yeah.
series. Yeah,
But which
I know,
is
it's
also
weird.
a cool creature.
I like how
Yeah.
I like Batra.
No spoilers.
Come on, let's not say Batra in front of Terrence right now.
There's
Yeah,
some coloring choices I like about the King of the Monsters movie with the introduction of Mothra, but anyway.
We'll get to, we're going to get to King of the Monsters in 2065 on the podcast. But I think that's one of my beefs with the Legendary series is one of my beefs with the first Godzilla movie, which is something we will definitely be rehashing when we finally get there. But like the design of the monsters and like color choices. And I think like seeing Mothra in the full sort of yellow, white, red, colorful versus more of the like blue
luminescence
that we're going for. Like it's cool, but it's not as cool as the original.
Yeah, I mean,
and also those movies are so dark and muddy.
Yes.
That you can't really, even if he was bright and colorful, you wouldn't be able to see it. That's what I love about some of those
it's
Showa
the Brave
movies.
effect, like Brave, where everybody at Pixar was like, what if we had two black bears fighting at night as the climax of our movie in the 3D technology that has not been fully figured out other than for James Cameron movies? And Godzilla 2014 is like, what if we had three giant monsters who all have the same color scheme fighting amidst at night? So yeah, it
becomes just dreary because you're right. The original Mothra movie is a beautiful film, and
hopping with color and
but the evolution and the cocoon and the tower, like all of it it's incredible. It's great, and that movie was hugely popular too in Japan when it came out originally, and they never really, even in Toho in the Showa era, they really never gave Mothra the kind of respect and majesty that
a god should get.
Yeah, the the original Mothra film did.
The Heisei era is going to present plenty of Mothra to go around, including
yes.
Well, that I'm
I
excited
think you'll be
for.
pleased.
And
Yeah.
I'll just say, like, yes, are the Toho movies that are set primarily in daylight more colorful? Sure, I do think
Yes.
the legendary thoughts are a little bit overblown, but that's another conversation.
We'll get, like I said, we're in 2082 when we finally get finally get to those.
Without any spoilers, I'll revise my question to Aaron. If you were going to recommend a Heisei film to a newbie, which one would it be?
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I think I know what one you're going to say.
I mean, how can I not say Biollante?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think.
that's so my
That's
jam.
one
So
I cannot wait to watch because I've told like just people I know that we're doing this podcast. It just ran from all walks of life, and several of them have said Biollante is their favorite Godzilla movie. So I'm really excited to get there eventually.
It's one of mine.
It's one of mine.
It's a very
sure.
unique Godzilla film and a very unique and fascinating monster too.
Yeah.
Well, and Godzilla 84, Return of Godzilla, got the big screen treatment from Roger Corman here in the U.S. Got the dub and Raymond Burr and everything, but it's leaden pace-wise. Nothing. And Biollante makes up for that. They've got, there's so much momentum, there's so much action. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
The rest of the Heisei era, I would.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll
I'm excited to get there.
My next one after that is I love the last one. I'm so in love with Destroyer.
Oh yeah. I like that
Because
one,
it is so grim and sad, and
the
that's
less
where I
said
go.
about it right now, the better. But yes, it is.
Yes, the less said,
Yeah.
the better.
That's all I say. That's all I'm saying.
Because I'd
That and the George Hamilton cameo.
No. Yeah.
Well, and again, spoiler free, you've also got Hong Kong as a location. So they go a little bit outside the Japan box for that.
Yeah, it's always interesting when they sort of branch out and what that means for, the characters.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you have a favorite monster other than Godzilla from that the first 10 films? Is there a monster that stands out as your favorite second?
Ghidorah's my guy. Ghidorah, like, outside of Godzilla, Ghidorah is so my
because he's evil.
He's chaotic evil. There's nothing, or what's, it's not chaotic evil. It's what would be it? Just evil. Like there's no.
He's cold.
There's no good in Godzilla in Ghidorah.
Yeah.
And also,
Ghidorah exists to take away light. That's
there's no reasoning with Ghidorah. Like,
which I did appreciate.
There would be no talk with the Mothra twins.
Ghidorah is like the closest thing to a Lovecraftian monster in the Toho.
It's beautiful.
I've compared Ghidorah to like the T-1000, where the reason I think other Terminator movies can't live up to T2 beyond the fact that they're not made by James Cameron is the T-1000 is such a cool what's next in that? What's the next iteration of Terminator that is better than the T-1000? There isn't one. And I feel the same way about Ghidorah. Now Ghidorah came out pretty early. There's plenty of really cool kaiju in the Godzilla universe. No doubt. You still got Gigan and Megalon, and Mechagodzilla still comes like way later. But Ghidorah, there's just something about the idea of this three-headed flying dragon monster that's covered in gold and shoots lightning and makes a crazy sound and is nothing but evil. Where it's like, what do you top this with? That's why I just put out monsters is 9 monsters versus 1, because it's like this is the best.
But also simply from a filmmaking point of view, it's a massive creation. The fact that we're talking about the 60s. This guy's in a suit with 3 heads, it's being also on wires flying. I mean, they made that happen. It's not CGI. It's like
why I like Biollante so much, because it's one of the few things that can like counter it as far as just complexity. Like
But I would be remiss if I didn't, because I know that there's some crazy listeners out there who are thinking this, because I just thought it. I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that Godzilla versus King Ghidorah in the 90s, in the Heisei era, came out after T2.
Yes.
And there is a reference to T2 in that movie.
Yeah, not so subtle reference.
I'm intrigued to see what it will be. I will have forgotten by the time we get.
The thing about the Heisei era is that, Terrence, it's much like how Bond films are influenced by the action movies and adventure movies that are around it at the time.
Sure.
The early ones are Hitchcock influenced or what have you. The Heisei era is very much influeed by the movies around it at the time as well. Like you'll very much see very deliberate choices made based on pop culture heavy Hollywood movies that have
Indiana
the greatest
Jones. Yeah. The
That's
Final Wars has got
interesting.
nods to the X-Men and Matrix.
Yeah.
And destroy all monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because I think, jumping way down the line would be like, yeah, we haven't rewatched Roland Emmerich's. That is one that I cannot wait to rewatch that.
Oh,
I know Aaron despises it, but like that being very, sort of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Made raptors cool, and so now we have all these raptors. So
well, it's pathetic Jurassic Park wannabe is what it is.
It's notable that Larry didn't jump in to defend that one.
Yes, Aaron, you know me so well now.
You're like, wait a minute, Zilla has some good intentions. He just wanted to lay eggs in Madison Square Garden.
Aaron, look. I'm going to say this. Look, I'm going to go out on a limb here. And look, I remember when that film was in development. I sent so many letters to the production company saying, "Hey, I'd love to work as an intern. I have all this experience, special effects, blah blah blah." And I even sent. I finally got a hold of the assistant to Roland Emmerich, and I sent him gifts, for God's sake, saying, "Hey, think about me."
I never heard this story.
Yes, I sent him these Godzilla gifts. I had the address. And I got to know this gal, and she was really nice. She was very pleasant. She was always very positive and stuff. Finally, maybe after about the 6th or 7th time, after, "Hey, so did you get those gifts I sent you?" She says, "Larry, I think it's best that you maybe move on," or something like that.
And it's saying you a Taco Bell gift certificate.
But that's not why. Oh, so I hated it. No. I wanted to work on it so badly.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, there wasn't during that time. There wasn't a lot of Godzilla stuff, so I was so excited for it to come out.
Sure,
I was so happy that Hollywood had done a big budget Godzilla film, but I knew Hollywood had tried to do it like 8 or 10 years earlier. We had the artist on our show, Stout. Remember, we had
William Stout.
William Stout,
yes.
And
he was a Steve Miner directing.
Yeah, and it was beautiful and it was gorgeous. But the amount of money that was going to have to go into it when they did all the research, because they also wanted to do it in 3D, it was astronomical. So it was shelved. So here's the first Godzilla movie coming out in a long time. It's an American thing. And it came out, and dude, I was just so excited to have a Godzilla film. And I remember really liking it at the time. And then Sean kind of slapped me, and he said, he gave this review, and I'm listening to Sean's review, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. And I needed Sean to bring me back to reality. And also,
how come you don't listen to him on other films? That's what I want to know.
I didn't know that.
Avatar.
I like Matthew Broderick. I think he's a wonderful actor.
Sure.
But in this film, I felt like every time you saw him, there's a joke. He go, "Wow, that's a big lizard." Like everything was supposed to be a comical moment, and it is not a good film. And I think Godzilla fans, I would think most, kind of look at that as, oh, that's the bastard stepchild.
But just like the Goonies, there's a lot of people who grew up and they saw that movie at a time in their lives when they were impressionable enough, and now it's nostalgic and they'll actually champion it. Those people have a voice. They're like influencers and they're on YouTube, and they give that movie cred. Yeah.
You know how you can tell, James, that's a dying argument, because how you can always tell the success is if those toys were still worth a lot of money. That means, there's popularity. No, those toys, no one's buying those. No one's. Well, I don't have any. Do you? No,
I do, but
I have one.
You're embarrassed by it. It's on a shelf.
No, I'm not. It's remote controlled. It's cool. It walks. But anyway, I like it. But James and I had this conversation at one point where I think we agreed that there's something about Godzilla, the Japanese quality about him. There's something intrinsically Japanese about Godzilla. And when it is not made by a Japanese company, it just seems like there's something missing. And I'm rooting for all of them. I want them all to be good.
Sure.
But again, there's something uniquely Japanese about Godzilla. And that's why when Shin Godzilla finally came out, and it was this wonderful, strange love, satiric, but yet terrifying Godzilla movie, I was just thrilled. And the fact that they're skewering Japanese bureaucracy. I mean, I love the whole thing. And I know James is not a fan, but that's a movie that I give a lot of credit to. For me, it gets better every time I watch it.
I can give credit, but there were so many people who went and saw -1 in theaters that, like my sister, who would never have gone to a theater to see a Godzilla movie, and she saw -1, and if she turned to me and said, "What other Godzilla movie should I watch?" I wouldn't recommend Shin. We can appreciate Shin for what it's doing, but I don't know. I mean, I think if someone uninitiated saw it, they'd be like, I don't know.
I mean, you'd want to provide a context though, because Shin and -1 are doing very different things. -1,
thank you.
Beyond the fact that I love both of these movies, but beyond the fact that -1 is a very good film, that it's hard for Godzilla. It was hard for me, a Godzilla fan, to express how good that movie was, because it's just. I'm personally not a hyperbolic person, but me expressing how much I like this movie and trying to communicate the idea that it's not just because I like this specific property, but because it's extending beyond just what genre it's within and doing something that's it's hitting on an emotional level, on a more visceral level.
Yeah.
And that clearly connected because people loved that movie. It was a hit. It was, a hit for America, which that just doesn't really happen these days.
Yeah, it was just a good movie, period, not just a good Godzilla film.
Because that's a weird qualifier to say, a good movie. It's like, well, what does that mean? Well, it's the movie, it's doing something more than just satisfying a certain kind of thing you expect from a Godzilla movie. It's trying to be a character drama that has real stakes and real human emotions or whatnot, to go with the fact that there's a giant rampaging monster blasting nuclear breath throughout Tokyo and what have you. So when you say, I also recommend Shin Godzilla, you can, because I think people that like movies have the capacity to understand what different movies do. You can't, I'm not going to you watch I don't know, watch a random Adam Sandler comedy and then watch something like Uncut Gems, and it's like, those are different things, and I wouldn't necessarily say watch Happy Gilmore then watch this, but but you would provide a context for it. So what I'm saying is,
the parallel is that if somebody likes Uncut Gems, then I would recommend Shin Godzilla to that person, because then they have the capacity to appreciate a movie like that.
I wouldn't think they're only limited to those things. Where Shin Godzilla, I would say, you could watch Shin Godzilla. It's a modern film about Godzilla that's using a lot of the pieces that you would expect from a Godzilla movie, except it's twisting them into a satire. And if you feel like you want to see something of that nature that is darkly humorous and has something else going on that's not going to be this thing you just loved in -1, go for it. If that's not what you're looking for, then sure, you can branch off to other areas.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't outright say no, don't watch.
I think I agree with you, Jay, as somebody who just recently saw Shin Godzilla on the re-release and has obviously been doing this podcast, so I've been, indoctrinated with Godzilla, and this was Aaron's plan all along. Even though I sent the email
one by one,
I can see recommending that off of -1 as being something that's a little bit challenging to do, just because the tone is so different, what they're trying to accomplish is so different, the vibes are so different. I really liked Shin Godzilla. I appreciated what it was doing, and I loved the satire, in part because I've liked a lot of the satire of the movies that I've experienced and sort of what they've been skewering. But I can see it being a little challenging if it's off of the back of -1, but if it was let's make this your first Godzilla movie, I could see it being something great to recommend, because they just do some stuff in that I was not prepared.
Yeah, right.
I was not ready.
That was a big joy I had from going to see it with him. That he didn't know what was going to happen in Shin Godzilla.
I had no idea. I knew we were getting a purple atomic breath beam. I knew that the design was going to look a little crazy.
Yeah,
but I was not ready for that. But yeah, -1 is just
it is like the kind of what James said about his sister. This is the film, my whole family knows, Larry likes Godzilla. This was the film that I said to my whole family, guys, you guys have to see that. And I took one of my older brothers, he took his girlfriend, my sisters went to see. I mean, they all saw it, and they all said the same thing about, wow, this was not what they expected. It was such a great, it's more than just a Godzilla film in a way. Yeah, Godzilla.
As we were saying, it's a good movie. If you
Yeah.
took Godzilla out of it, I think it would still be an engaging drama.
Yes, correct.
But
I would agree.
But the problem though that I have, and as much as I love Godzilla -1, it's a masterpiece. It's wonderful.
An Oscar
But
winner.
An Oscar-winning
yes.
Godzilla movie.
Yes.
Did we ever think it would happen?
Yeah, sure.
I cried. I cried, Aaron.
It was.
I cheered. I was standing up yelling.
It was.
It lost me my Oscar pool because I put the creator, but I was happy for. I
bet with my heart.
That's
I got so many texts.
Wow.
Wow. That's awesome.
But see, the thing is, though, is that coming right off of that, we had Shin. There were a lot of people that were piling onto Shin. One thing that I got was like, well, when you had the American Japanese character that comes in there when she speaks English, oh, it's so ridiculous. And my view of that is this is made for Japan. And so to a Japanese audience, they're not going to find any problem with that. And for the rest of the film, in a lot of ways, Shin Godzilla takes way more chances and is way more original than Godzilla -1.
Oh,
Godzilla -1 is a great drama, but it's more of a traditional drama.
It's trapping
as opposed to what Shin Godzilla is.
Shin's like experimental, really.
Yes, and scary. And that's the other thing too, is that it made Godzilla frightening again. That design is terrifying.
It is aiming to be, when dealing with directly with Godzilla, it's aiming to be scary. That said, Godzilla -1 has a jump scare at the beginning of the movie. I mean, it's also tried to be scary, which I appreciate about both of those movies.
Sure, yes.
I love them both.
And they both also have a sense of humor to them. Like obviously, Shin Godzilla is deliberately a satire, where -1 it just has character interaction where there's sometimes a bit of humor to break up the bleakness.
They had to sprinkle a dash of humor into that movie. Everything was so serious.
When they're all just like hanging out on the boat, like there's
that's great.
Isn't it interesting, though, guys, talking about how Godzilla can be interpreted in so many ways, but I find it interesting that only recently do you get from Japan films like Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1 around the same time that Americans are making the legendary Godzilla films, which are literally just surface level, one-dimensional special effects spectacles. That's it. That's all they require.
They're popcorn movies, Sean.
I know that, Lee. I'm just saying that it's interesting that Japan takes the time and effort to make an actually creative, experimental, meaningful film out of a Godzilla film, and all American filmmakers interested in making a big popcorn spectacle that you can go with to take your kids, and when you leave, it's over. You forget all about and yet they're spending so much more money on those. It's this corporate-driven, franchise-driven, soulless kind of like big special effects movies. But I mean, all I can say is I'm glad we're still getting the Japanese Godzillas, because you have to have both. I mean,
I wonder if Legendary and Warner Brothers combining on those freed Toho up a bit more to do more things in that vein.
I think it's a rising tides lifts all ships kind of thing. Where you have this very
they're like,
thing.
great, we've licensed it. We're making gajillions of dollars. These things over there.
I need to note that like any movie studio, their ultimate design is to make money. I mean,
of course.
You can talk about the significance of what's going on within the Toho, the Japanese side of the filmmaking, as far as having filmmakers that are literally using the history of their country as a means to tell a story, and that actually has resonance because yes, it's commenting on something that matters a lot. And you could also say that the Hollywood side of things doesn't have that, therefore it's not going to resonate in the same way. But to say it's soulless, I get it. I get that there is that ultimately comes down to popcorn. But like having like talked with Adam Wingard about his movies, and knowing Michael Dougherty as much as I know him, and knowing Gareth Edwards as much as I know him, those are guys that really care about the Godzilla franchise. They didn't.
I'm sure they do. They
didn't just like walk into a room and point to the wall and say this and then walk out of it. They care about doing the things they want to do.
It's because the Godzilla movie, like these Godzilla and Kong ones, it's like the monsters are the main characters versus the the thing that these other characters are reacting to, because like the journeys that Godzilla and Kong have been on in these movies have been wild.
Yes, and you have 70 years of time spent doing a variety of different things.
Yeah.
So if the time has come to make Kong the main character of one, I'm not going to object to that.
Well,
also, just to wrap up my point, this is compared to the 90s Godzilla movie from Emmerich, a guy who actively didn't like Godzilla being the guy directing a Godzilla film. So like, I'm gonna.
That makes it, of course. But I would say that actually, of all the legendary films, it does the best with the human characters. I would say is Kong Skull Island.
Yeah,
and I would say, but also the last Godzilla X Kong New Empire. To me, the most disappointing thing about that movie was Godzilla was like a guest starring supporting player in his own franchise. They didn't know what to do with him. They didn't know what to do with him, though.
You know this franchise well enough to that's a lot of Godzilla movies in general, though. That's not like it's new to Godzilla that Godzilla doesn't become the main feature of a movie. Like that's so many Godzilla.
It was Kong's.
Godzilla's
It's Kong's
after the fact idea that we have to throw it in because all right, let's
Kong's
Godzilla
journey.
up today.
Invasion of the Astro Monster. I mean, there's very little Godzilla in that movie.
True.
But why do I watch that over and over again and have no desire to watch the legendary films?
Because the cool swinging 60s.
Yeah, I guess.
Because Invasion of the Astro Monster is great.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. I just want to go hang with everybody, you know? Like,
I'm going to go to Planet X and party.
Drive with Nick Adams in a convertible.
If you don't like the movie, you don't like the movie. But you can't posit that Godzilla is the key resource in every single Godzilla movie because he's just not.
I attribute it to the fact that Godzilla is so entrenched, so specifically with Japanese culture and history for so many decades now that you could even look at a movie like, you know, in the more recent era, the Millennium era, like Tokyo SOS or Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. And those are not necessarily great movies, but they're still more compelling than any of the legendary ones, just by virtue of the way that they're treating, you know, the human characters and the way that they treat the monsters and the effects. It just works so much better. It's just something about the chemistry.
But that fight scene with Godzilla and Kong in Hong Kong with all the colors of the buildings.
Sure,
that's what it came down to for me, was the colors of the buildings. That was it. It was like, hey, pretty colors. Hey.
No, it was more than pretty colors. There was, and it was like Godzilla, you know, running with his little.
I will say I enjoyed.
Sounds.
Something was missing.
One.
Something was missing.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one more than King Kong versus Godzilla.
The Japanese one.
The original King Kong.
Oh, really? Really?
Well, I like seeing.
Wait, Terrence, tell. What was your response to seeing King Kong for the first time?
I literally turned to Aaron and I said, "Who is this?" Because the King Kong design in that movie.
I can't argue with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Terrence, let's say you're a scrappy little 9-year-old kid, though, you know, and you see that for the first time. You go, "Oh, is that cool?"
You're Jeff Goldblum as he.
I'm just saying that. Don't you imagine yourself in that costume, you know, fighting the monsters?
I like King Kong.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know who that was.
Matt has said this before, Matt, and I agree. There's something about, at least back in the 60s and 70s, Japanese filmmakers could not make good ape costumes. They just couldn't do it. No matter how hard they try. Because I like King Kong versus Godzilla. I like the fights that they have. I like the battles. I like the plot of that whole movie. But King Kong, for some reason, I don't know what they're thinking. Because I like the Godzilla design's great.
Well, that was my very first Godzilla movie in a matinee, and seeing Godzilla come out of that iceberg and the costumes, the suits.
Cool. But the King Kong, though, I don't know what.
And if you had a problem with that Kong, when you get to King Kong Escapes, which I also love for, you know,
me too,
all the wrong reasons, you know.
Yeah.
Wait, Aaron, have we done that one? Has Terrence done that one?
I'm secretly plotting two black guys talk King Kong, and we'll see.
And I have already made it clear, I cannot do the King Kong franchise.
Really? I said a film. Like, we knock it out in like, you know, less than a year.
You say that, and I just know eventually I'm gonna have to watch the Peter Jackson one, and I have such a traumatic story about watching that movie. I would not want to
you can't just say that and walk away. You need to give us something.
Oh my gosh. So
the best Peter Jackson movie, by the way. That's how I call it.
Don't even. We will break this podcast up on this podcast.
It's just true.
Okay, Aaron, them's fighting words here.
The story. Yeah, the story was that it was like a string of like 10 straight days of 105 degrees in the Bay Area, which is where I was born and raised. And so my mom and I were like, let's rent a movie. And so we rented King Kong. And so it was just, and we didn't have air conditioning. So it's like incredibly hot with only a fan, having just got my wisdom teeth taken out, sweating, sticking to the leather couch, only for them to end up in a forest full of giant centipedes and bugs. And I do not do giant bugs. Kaminga aside.
Yes.
Because I love that design. But I was like, this is one of the worst experiences I've ever had watching a movie. So
did you stop it? Did you stop it there and go, I'm not going to watch this?
Because I will tough out a movie, but I was like, I can't do this. Yeah,
that doesn't seem like the movie's fault in this scenario. Just saying,
it's Peter Jackson's fault because he decided to do that.
No, that's my favorite part of the movie.
All this context you put around the movie. I mean,
that is, I was not a fan.
Look, you're hot. You're a hot kid. Your wisdom. I remember when I used
the wisdom teeth. Like, where's this coming from?
The wisdom teeth taken out. Yeah, it was quite an experience. So yeah, I don't think we'll be doing two black guys talk King Kong. But yeah, the Japanese, that design in the was a 63.
Yeah, I don't know why they.
I don't understand it. Like if
weird.
you watch Ultraman episodes and Ultra Q, and there's an ape character that shows up, even the ape aliens in Mechagodzilla are like, really? You guys couldn't take like a minute more to glue something down and put in some teeth?
Okay, so you don't like the apes. Okay, I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
But what about that scrappy little character Anguirus? What about
I love Anguirus.
I do too.
Wow.
I love Anguirus.
People
I like
they
Anguirus.
crap all over Anguirus, but I'd like to remind you that he bites onto Ghidra.
Oh yeah.
And he gets taken in the air and he's
the bulldog kaiju.
He is the one. He is always in the fight, unlike Rodan, who is just flying in the air, off to the side.
Screw
and
this
was
noise.
actually in the battle. Yeah.
No, remember I told he's a loner. He's the loner.
I enjoy Anguirus.
Anguirus has your back.
I'm confused here because I don't disagree with the fact that, I think that Anguirus is a good character.
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk about monster design and that you guys don't like Varan, but you like the guy who's an ankylosaurus who's literally on his knees.
He's got spikes on his back.
But the design is cool though.
He can roll.
He looks like the ancestor to Madame the puppet, but at least in the face and the way that the mouth moves.
He's also in multiple better movies than Varan the Unbelievable.
Yeah,
true. And that is true. And that is
he shows up. He shows up later,
popping up out of the water like a spider monkey. I mean, that's not a thing.
Yes, and once again,
which I personally don't think is a bad thing. I like spider monkeys and I want them to fly. But
that was a great moment. But Varan's movie, he didn't even get to destroy the Air Force base that he was coming after. They end the movie with him in the water.
They screwed him over.
He didn't get to the fireworks factory.
He didn't have management. He signed without showing the script to anybody. And
so I'm sorry to the Varanites.
Okay.
It's just not going to happen with me.
Well, Aaron, I'm curious. Have you ever been to G-Fest?
Oh.
No. Does it move around or is it one place specifically?
James?
Usually it's in Chicago in July. And it's a lot of fun.
It's bigger now, too.
It used to go back for Chicago and LA, and for some reason, I don't really understand, but now it's stayed in Chicago for the past, I don't know, like 12, 15 years.
Because it's central.
Yeah, right. I guess, but that was the first time I actually got to meet Haruo Nakajima, and who played Godzilla. He was in the original Godzilla costume. And meeting him was like one of the biggest thrills of my life. And it was so funny. The first time I met him, I remember Sean, remember we saw the line, oh, it's really long. We'll come back in maybe about an hour. And we came back an hour and there was only 5 or 6 people we're running up. And this guy says, oh, I'm sorry. They stopped the line. I went, oh, they stopped the line. And then he looked at us and goes, oh no, you guys can go. And so we were the last two The last two we both
That's right. I got a photo. Yeah.
Do you remember that, Sean?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, yeah,
cool.
it's crazy when you think about you're just standing next
And
to
there
him,
he
you're
is, right.
shaking hands with this guy who played Godzilla in the original Godzilla. It's crazy. Yeah.
And what was
Terrence.
really cool, it was in LA on Hollywood Boulevard where they and what was really cool is they were going to show at the Egyptian the original cut of the original Godzilla. And Haruo Nakajima was there, and so I went to the screening. And after it was all over, they gave him a standing ovation. And he and his wife, they walk out, and they were walking along Hollywood Boulevard. And I was just about 5 or 10 feet ago. This is so surreal. There's Godzilla walking down Hollywood Boulevard.
Did he turn to you? Did he turn to you and say in Japanese, "You need to move on"?
No. I gave the man his space. I gave him his privacy. I just, this kind
it was cool though.
Terrence, for G-Fest, talk about being Godzilla curious. You, I think, would really enjoy this because one of the most fun things at the convention is the costume contest, and there are two categories. So you have the adult category where you get these amazing, like full on, like movie ready Godzilla costumes and other kaiju, and then you have the kids division, and that's my favorite because. When you got you're 11 years old and it's like, well, how do I make my Godzilla costume? And let's get some cardboard and some Glad bags and duct tape and somehow it comes together. And for me, that's just adorable.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you mentioned that because I do cosplay and make things. I've done the Her Universe fashion show for the last 3 years at Comic-Con. So that
nice.
is and I have been ideating around something Godzilla related for maybe to submit to that show one day, but I gotta wait to see who the sponsor is tonight. I don't want to. Oh, okay. I might want to hold on to that idea. Right. But no, that seems fun. But yeah, I did a lot of Godzilla stuff. I did more Godzilla stuff at this Comic-Con than Aaron did.
Really?
In part because the line when he was about to get into the line was already long, even though I had saved you a seat.
He got into some panels that I wasn't able to get into.
I got into the panel with the director of Shin Godzilla was on that panel.
Oh, wow.
On a panel. And he said his favorite film was Megalon. Godzilla.
Oh, really? Interesting.
And we just watched Megalon and we were like, we wonder what that had anything to do with Shin Godzilla, and the answer was nothing.
Right.
He was the right age. It had just come out probably.
But I have to admit, Megalon I like more and more as the years go on. First of all, you got two great kaijus in that. Gigan and Megalon are great monsters, great designs.
Gigan's in my top 4.
Oh, interesting.
Kaiju.
Yeah.
I will say that whatever deal they have to market that movie has been good because I thought that Jet Jumper. Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jumper is his brother.
Come on.
He's wearing a jumper.
Jet Jaguar. I thought that was going to be Megalon because you see it on every single poster.
Right.
And so I was like, I got the nice surprise of what Megalon actually was.
And Jet Jaguar was such an outrageous, obviously, trying to cash in on the popular Ultraman and all the Ultraman type shows. But and Jet Jaguar was kind of just dismissed for so long, but now he's become cool, and I do I kind of love Jet Jaguar. He's so ridiculous that he's awesome.
I never dissed him. I love the fact that he was like Ultraman. I mean, I was that kid who goes, I like Jet Jaguar.
And the best thing in that movie, I don't know how it is in the original Japanese version, but always the greatest thing about that movie is when Jet Jaguar just decides to become giant.
Yeah.
And the scientist asked the other guy, well, how does Jet Jaguar manage that? And he says something like, well, obviously he just programmed himself to do that. That's the explanation.
I think it's even worse than that. I think he said something like, well, he had the will to do it. And,
he's become sentient.
Yeah.
That's
wow. That's and this guy just built this thing in his basement. But I love Jet Jaguar.
Obviously, I didn't grow up with, as far as timing wise, I wasn't, I was born after Megalon came out, but I never experienced the period where Jet Jaguar was a disliked character. I've always
he was
a cult favorite. That said, I do love Jet Jaguar, and I love that. I love the. I wrote a whole post about this, Godzilla's greatest allies. It was a top 10 list.
Right.
But I love that Jet Jaguar just is like instant friends of Godzilla. Like,
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
trial period. There's no Godzilla getting used to this new guy.
Yeah.
Jaguar is just like, hey, we got to do this thing. Godzilla's like, all right, let's go. They shake hands and they go after Megalon. It's like, yeah, great, perfect. Like, they're just born for each other. And then we never see him again. I'm like, well, we should have more.
Yeah, bring Jet Jaguar back.
But you know,
I think
Aaron,
it's
you bring up
crazy.
a really good point. One of my favorite moments in that movie is when Jet Jaguar and Godzilla shake hands, and Godzilla's there going, "Rawr, rawr, rawr," as they shake. And that scene is so poignant that Super 7 for last year they made action figures in that pose when they're shaking hands. And when I got that, I was like, oh, this is such a magical moment. Thank you. And Matt, for the listeners on the radio, Matt is showing it to us. And it's still sealed in the box.
Very cool.
That's one you keep in the box.
Yeah.
Because that's it. Not only is it the background, they're shaking hands, but just the color of the box. It's
the poster
from that
Yeah, it's
time
perfect.
period, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and speaking of color, I mean, Jet Jaguar, one of the most colorful characters in any Godzilla film ever.
You know, I'm so glad for you guys like crapping all over Minya that you at least have some love for Jet Jaguar. So I'm very
Because
happy.
Jaguar actually does
stuff.
something.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
I just
fighting
need
off
Manila
Megalon and Gigan by himself for a while. He has to
Yes.
hold his own before he got
Yeah.
He was like swimming in the water for 20 minutes trying to like
Yes.
arrive at the location.
Gigan,
He gets walloped.
the character I believe is going to be the star of Supernova. I've
You might, maybe if they're going to do
That's
any
my
kind
theory.
of space, the thing. And Gigan, I kind of like Gigan better in Godzilla versus Megalon than in Godzilla versus Gigan, only because the worst thing about Godzilla versus Gigan is they introduce this great new kaiju. Gigan's great. Comes from what is it, Hunter M universe or something, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, what? He's a cyborg? Is he biological? Whatever he is, he's just freaking awesome. But they use so much egregious stock footage.
Yes.
And like way too much to be like they disservice a great new kaiju by like half the fucking movie is stock footage. That's
They
terrible.
toned down Ghidorah in the process too, so it's just like
Even Ghidorah,
Yeah.
like Ghidorah looks cheap. There's like shots of it flying where it's not moving at all. Like the original three-headed monster, you see the tail's moving, the wings are going, the heads are moving, and it looks like a cheap plastic toy flying. And
I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the cheapest kind of throwaway. That's probably one of my least liked of the Showa era Godzilla films.
that one was rough because of how we've been watching these. I recognize the shots.
Yeah, right.
Are used in stock footage.
yeah.
Like there's a particular one of like Ghidorah zapping Godzilla in the stomach, and he's sort of like rubbing his stomach, and then he turns around and gets zapped on the butt. Like I remember that so vividly from Ghidorah Three-Headed Monster.
Right.
And it has now popped up like 2 or 3 more times. So like watching them sort of in the way that we've been watching them every 2 weeks or every week or however, whatever our lives have looked like when we've been watching these movies. It's like I recognize the exact shots that they're pulling from. So Gigan, I do think really suffered from that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I think we need to address the smog monster in the room.
Yes.
Hedorah is also in my top 4 kaiju.
Mine as well.
The movie is bizarre, ridiculous.
It broke my brain.
Yes.
It's also
insane.
It's also innovative in many ways, and it looks completely different than any other Godzilla movie.
Unlike any other. Yeah.
And I love Hedorah. I love the fact that there are different forms of Hedorah, and I like the anti-pollution theme in the movie.
To say something, which is
I think that's
been
good
a while for these Godzilla movies. Yeah.
And talk about dark. I mean, so much of the movie takes place at night. There's like genuinely like weird, moody shots, and and the smoke coming. It's just and it's horrific. Or nightmarish, horrific moments, and then like moments that are aimed at like 5-year-olds. It's so weird.
You have animation in it. You've got the little cartoon
psychedelia.
Yeah,
people turned into skeletons, and then then there's like this lighthearted moment.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Listening to that podcast back was really, really funny because like I just in the after I was like, how do you, as a first time viewer, I was like, how am I going to talk about this thing that is actively like rewiring my brain as we are speaking? Because it's so drastically different than anything up until that point and really anything after. But I like so even though I think my issues with that movie, I think the deliberate pacing, the slow pacing ends up hurting the final battle because like there's some really interesting things that happen, but I just felt like it was too drawn out.
Okay.
But like I so appreciated the wild swing
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
that
right.
it was. And I think Hedora would be a great villain now. I kind of want I feel like we need a remake. Or maybe not a remake, but just bring that character back.
Yeah.
Especially since the Legendary series has very much looked at, ecological change and
Sure.
Right.
and, global warming and things as like key thematic devices to utilize in the realm of these. Like there's a reasoning they could bring in Hedora as a major threat. I'm a huge Hedora fan as well. Like the only reason Hedora's not higher on my Godzilla is just because I like the other movies more, but it doesn't stop how much I like what Hedora is doing.
Yeah.
Right,
I love Yoshimitsu Banno is just so like my guy. Like I just feel like he just seems like the wild card at Toho that was like, I got an idea, and they fired him immediately afterwards.
Yeah, they fired him.
Yeah, I know. And Aaron and Terrence, I saw Smog Monster for the first time in a movie theater as a kid.
Oh my gosh.
Me too, man.
Like with my jaw slack-jawed through the whole thing. I'm like, what is this? But I loved it. Yeah.
And of course, we were talking before the show that was the film where you see Godzilla toys for the first time. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that scene at the very beginning of the little kid playing with the Godzilla toys on the slide, that changed my life, that moment. And I said, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week or next month, but one day I will find those toys. It took me over 25 years. Of course, this is before, eBay, but I actually had to go to Japan and get them, and I did. And I was so excited to get those toys.
And it was the first.
I've never heard this story before.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey.
And it was the first Godzilla film to kind of make reference of that, the idea that Godzilla has been merchandised within the context of the film, which is really cool.
Right, yeah.
I found hilarious because I'm like, this Godzilla has been tearing y'all up.
Yeah.
For 15 years.
Yeah.
And now, but we're going to make toys out of it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank goodness. Thank goodness they did. Man, Terrence, there was a time I was flipping out. I couldn't find any Godzilla toys at that
because
time.
this was before, like you said, before eBay, before we ever even knew such toys existed. But those were the toys we wanted, but we couldn't get them.
Right.
This is
Did the Peanuts?
This is why Bono's my guy, because he's thinking cynically as far as the world would want to monetize this thing regardless of how horrible it had as far as like its past history goes, and now we kind of like weirdly celebrated it instead.
Well, yeah,
we have comic books and toys and kids play with this thing. Like
it's like people walking around with a Charles Manson T-shirt. It's like the same kind of idea.
I'm assuming though that the Peanuts worked out the marketing deal with Godzilla.
Right.
Godzilla wants 25%.
The proceeds going to Infant Island.
But Terrence, wouldn't you guys agree that it's amazing that this creature, this monster that was created back in 1954, here we are, like over 70 years later, and it still just resonates. It's still it's bigger and grander with the toys and the movies, different,
comics.
In Japan and the United States. It's amazing how much Godzilla has grown.
Yeah, it's been, obviously. For me, I mean, I saw the Roland Emmerich one was the first one that I had seen, right? So it's like, that's 40 years of history already. So it's like really interesting to see, where it's gone. And then for me to go back to the beginning, but like just to see the different ways the character has moved, like from being, outright villain to anti-hero and the things that they talk about. It's been a really interesting journey to be able to sort of like put it into the context like that.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever gone to Japan?
No, it's on the list. It's on the list of places.
Oh,
All right, Aaron might be
boy.
going sooner than me.
That I hope
few
so.
things I wanna
We'll
do
make
more
you a
than-
list
than-
of things
Yes.
to do.
Yeah.
I want to do more
Please,
in my
I will-
life
I
right
will-
now than zip line through Godzilla's mouth. That's
Yeah, right.
I've seen a couple wonders of the world, but I haven't zip lined through Godzilla's mouth yet. So
That's true. I have seen one of the seven wonders of the world twice now, but I have not ziplined through Godzilla's mouth. So that would definitely be high on the list if I go. So yes, I will take any and all Japan recommendations for when I finally get to go over there.
I've been wanting to stay at the Grasserie.
Hotel Grasserie. Oh,
and it's really hard to
one on top.
Yes,
Yeah,
Hotel
yeah.
Grasserie has a giant
And there are
Godzilla head and a claw on the top of it.
Yeah.
Right.
On like the
and there are
second
rooms
level.
that are designed around.
Well,
yeah,
it's not-
there are two Godzilla
there's
rooms,
two.
and they're impossible to reserve.
I'm
But
sure,
one of these
yeah.
days, and they're very expensive. But what's cool is that when you go in there, Godzilla's tail's coming through the wall, another one has his claw coming through, and there are things everywhere. And then, of course, they give you this nice little package of exclusive memorabilia, which is all that stuff we love, but
You can go up to the cafe and have Godzilla type food, and I'm a sucker for
I love
all of
it.
it. Okay,
Me
If
too.
it'll be $30 for like a little chocolate Godzilla cake, and
Of course.
I'll do it. I'll do
No.
it. Yeah.
The lobby also the lobby also has original Godzilla costume from GMK and the original Mothra puppet from GMK
Wow.
on
Really?
display
Wow.
there with these miniatures. It's gorgeous.
Wow.
And they sell Godzilla merch, some of which is hard to find in other places. So going to the Grasserie lobby at least is definitely worth doing.
Do they sell
Nice.
exclusive stuff like to the Grasserie?
I wish they did. I would love a scale model of the Grasserie with Godzilla's head on
Oh
it.
yeah, I'm
know,
surprised.
that'd be
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
somebody would make
A
that
Lego.
eventually.
Yeah,
Lego
someone
version.
probably already has.
James went to Japan not too long ago, and we were discussing a little bit. Isn't it amazing, James, how all the different Godzilla stuff they have in Japan now, the statues, and
Well, they've really embraced it in a way that, since Legendary started making Godzilla movies, before that, they were a little bit, from what I was told, a little bit embarrassed by it. Like it was some kiddie thing. And now that they believe that the rest of the world has embraced it, they feel that gives them a permission structure to embrace it. And they've named, there's this street in the red light district in Shinjuku that they've named Godzilla Road, and that leads up to the Grasserie Hotel. Well, back in the day, that was all just like, strip clubs and hostess bars and all these guys trying to get you into their bars. And I'm like,
I
oh,
hope it's
damn,
still that
this is
way.
it's still that way, but it's now that it's Godzilla Road and you can see Godzilla up ahead of you, and the little souvenir stands are selling Godzilla fans and little figures and keychains. It's like, hey, wait a minute,
Right.
this is different than it used to be. So
Right.
yeah, it's the country is definitely, I mean, now when you go to Japan, I mean, there's, even though there was always Godzilla stuff all over the place, now it's a proliferation. It's everywhere. It's crazy, which is fantastic.
and the bronze statues in the
Oh,
Ginza
right,
strip,
yeah.
and
Godzilla
Yeah.
slide.
it's the Godzilla slide. Oh my god!
Yeah, we
But-
we got to go back in 2015, the four of us, which to coordinate a trip like that, just for all of us to go, which was kind of a miracle.
Yeah.
But we did everything we could. We went to every Godzilla statue, including one outside Tokyo on the other side of Yokohama, that had a huge Godzilla slide where you could climb up and then slide down it. It was a little bit of a trek to get to it, but
In the
For
pouring
listeners-
rain.
yeah. We have a YouTube video up called Monster Party Goes to Japan, which is worth checking
Yeah,
out.
check it out. You can
Yeah,
get a
you
good
guys might
taste
enjoy
of yeah.
But we still have to do the zip lining through.
I
Shin
do wanna do
Godzilla.
that.
That's right.
I'm
Aaron,
going
You gotta
in.
go, man.
Yeah. I'm going in October. I'm going to try to do that. But there's a theme park. They have an Ultraman ride. And then they also have a Godzilla ride. And it's like a 3D kind of screen thing. But it looks really cool. And then they have in the park, they have a little restaurant that serves all the Godzilla food. And I saw
Oh,
a Shin Godzilla cream puff. And I'm like, I'm all over
Making me
that.
hungry over
would you
here.
Yeah.
would you save that cream puff, or would
No.
you?
I'd
No, you
save
gotta
it
eat
for
it.
my
It's not a
belly.
Twinkie.
This would be eaten very quickly.
Yeah,
No,
it-
I know. Matt has a very an old cracker from Ultra. What's
No,
that?
So there was in Japan, I got to be a part of the final. James and I both did. We got to be part of the final days of the Thunderbirds Cafe, the Jerry Anderson show, Thunderbirds, and so Japanese really love all that stuff, and so they had this restaurant bar, and we went there. I think it was the last week that they were open. We got a drink, a Thunderbirds drink, and I got a cracker that was on the top of my drink. And I brought it home, and I still have it. And it's like in a, almost like in a little frame that
You probably have the only one in the world right now.
Exactly right.
It's
the world.
So if you go to Japan and you go to a Hotel Grassroots and they give you a little cracker of Godzilla,
Save it.
You save that cracker. Save that.
Hey, Aaron and Terrence, I wanted to ask you guys why do you guys think Godzilla is still so popular and relevant today?
Ooh. I mean, the success of the movies has obviously helped, but like, why are those things successful? I think we're tapping into, some primal things when it comes to, I mean, Terrence, you yourself said like you're a big fan of disaster movies. I think there's just something there that, has made that kind of cinema, it's accessible for one reason or another. On top of that, I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to a mix of like gut instinct favorite type of things. Like people like dinosaurs. Is there like a specific reason? I don't know. People just like dinosaurs. Godzilla is evoking that kind of a spirit. At the same time, it's evoking this disaster movie quality thing. At the same time, it's also, there's a legacy there that seems to be, if not just very conscious, at least subconscious to some degree, that this represents something. It's not just your average monster. It's for one thing, it's the king of the monsters, but also it's this symbol of an earlier time that somehow still resonates in a way that it's interesting. And you combine that with a number of films that are varying forms of success, whether it's because of just the popcorn entertainment value of it, or because there's a sincerity to it, or because people just like the things they're seeing on a giant screen for whatever reason. It's all culminated in this magical kind of way where you have a variety of this one specific thing in an era where we're seeing all these different universes being collected or what have you, whether it's a Marvel or a DC or like we're at a time where that's the kind of thing that's working for a lot of audiences, and now you're bringing this other old school thing into that fold, making it work in a very successful way, just based on the people that are people want to see these things on a big screen, and without oversaturating it, while also delving into multimedia with it, whether it's comics or any other reasonings to look backwards, look forwards, or look to the side, like whatever magical formula that is, that's just working. Like it's and it's what's made. I mean, Godzilla right now is more popular than ever, right? Like it's got it's got all these different films. People are genuinely excited to see new versions of this thing. It's got comic books, multiple different developers at this point.
The stuff they're doing in the comics is wild.
Like in Marvel and IDW and other things. Like it's just it's all over the place without feeling like it's blotting out the sun. And that's not an easy thing, I think, to do, and yet it's registering.
Yeah, I think that Godzilla represents something, and because it started so strong with what it was representing, I think that it has allowed the figure of Godzilla to be in movies that are both serious and silly as something to bounce off of and tell stories around in a significant way. And while some have been more successful than others, I think that the idea of a giant creature has allowed so many different filmmakers and people to like confront topics or just deal with things in like unique ways because there is a giant monster stomping around. And so like, obviously, we've had creature features for forever, but with Godzilla, I really think the first one kicking off being so grounded established it in a way that, no matter how crazy or wild the plot is, Godzilla will have always had an incredibly strong foundation. And even, you might have some missteps and then you wait 10 years and then suddenly you make a movie and everybody's like, oh, this is this really cool monster. Yeah. But the reason why you can make that movie is because of the grounding. I just think that it's such a strong foundation in Godzilla. Godzilla can be so many things. He can be the representation of the nuclear age. He can be a fun monster to help your kid beat up some bullies. He could be Earth's protector. He could just be so many things. He's a very malleable creature. So yeah, and yeah, they've I think they've just done a great job of like branching out into other mediums. Like at that panel I was talking about, the comics, they are doing what Godzilla right now, insane, like Invasion of Astro Monster level wackiness.
You ever got like Godzilla meeting the Great Gatsby and Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, no, I have that book.
It's like,
wow.
Yeah, Godzilla is currently fighting the DC characters at the moment. He's gonna
I've heard about that. Yeah,
he's gonna meet up with the Ninja Turtles.
of course.
There's like one comic that's coming out where like we're gonna have half kaiju, half human people, like just craziness.
I think too that such a huge stamp also that even people who have never seen any incarnation of a Godzilla, when you say Godzilla, they still know. Oh yeah, that's a giant
exactly
monster.
what it
is. Or, as they walk into a room and the room's a mess. Oh, was Godzilla in here? Like everybody knows. Like they just like around the world, they still the name Godzilla is kind of universal now. It's crazy.
I also think that Godzilla is popular these days because I think that there is an overall fascination with apocalyptic themes too, and I think that that's why things like The Walking Dead is also popular.
Right.
I think, when you have this giant monster that's wiping out cities, there's something, as you were saying about the disaster movies, there's some sort of strange catharsis that happens when you watch one of those films. And also, I think that Godzilla just naturally lends himself to a big screen, big popcorn movie. They're literally giants. And that's something you need to see. Two monsters fighting and destroying a city. You kind of need to see that on a big screen. So done a lot. It's one of those franchises that's really helped prop up the film industry.
Yeah. And one thing that's really made me happy as I've grown older is growing up in the 70s. I was that kid that saw these Godzilla films. Godzilla was my monster. I was a big Godzilla fan. I drew Godzilla. I mean, Godzilla was my spirit animal, if you will. My 12th birthday was Godzilla. And in a way, it might have been a bit embarrassing, but I was proud. I was proud to have Godzilla as my monster, as my favorite character. And as the years have progressed, it's amazing now how I can look around and see how big, how popular Godzilla has become. And when I go to G Fest, and I haven't been in a while, but when I go to see how many parents have their kids with all kinds of little Godzilla toys, and I look at that and I say to myself, this monster is going to continue with this generation. And that makes me really, really happy.
And we really do have to thank Legendary for most of this of this
the current popularity of it. The spurt in popularity for sure.
Because if you think about it,
wouldn't be possible without Yoshimitsu Banno.
That's right.
Banno was key to getting the Legendary films happening. This guy is amazing.
But isn't it great if there's enough interest in those, and then you have something like a Godzilla -1 come out, and someone goes, "Oh, what's that all about? Let's check that out." There's that interest, and then it just blows up, and it just has me very excited and optimistic and positive about the future of Godzilla.
Now, do you guys collect toys?
Aaron
figures?
Does.
I do.
And then I feed into Aaron's toy collecting. I gave him a Godzilla store gift card for his birthday. At Comic-Con, I braved the vicious sun to go to the Super 7 store to get some of the collectibles.
Nice.
You're a good friend.
Yeah, you're the best.
Good. So, Aaron, what do you have then? What is your most prized Godzilla possession?
The prize thing is these. I have 2 out of 4 of these so far, where they're these little Godzilla keychain figures that have little podiums of microphones in front of them as if they're apologizing for the destruction they've caused. I have Mechagodzilla and Godzilla. I know there's a Hedorah and a Ghidorah out there. They're not the easiest. They're not the cheapest things. So
they're awesome though. What a great concept.
Where I want to acquire the final 2, I'm just kind of doing it in stages. I do, but yeah, I do have a lot of figures at this point all over the place. I was lucky enough actually to do like a press day for Godzilla, Kong, the New Empire, and they like gave us a bunch of Godzilla stuff. That was
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
What'd you get?
free stuff.
I got a big one of the big pink ones, the pink Godzillas.
Yeah.
I got like a few of the pop toys and whatnot. So like there's
Yes.
that, but then I have like from like Super 7 their stuff at Comic-Con over the years. I have like the Godzilla on a tricycle.
The tricycle.
Oh yeah,
that's great. I love that thing.
It's great.
I love
Super
them.
7's great.
I got this one. I think Terrence, you got me this one. I think. Yeah, I think I asked you to get me this one.
Oh, nice. With
that's
the
great.
train.
Yeah, I love the train.
Yeah,
one.
that's cool. Yeah.
I got a few other not really necessarily rare ones, just like I just see the ones I like where it's like,
Right.
yeah, there's 89 Godzilla. Let me get that for
Yeah.
So like I have I have a few like the Mondo has like those tiki mugs that are pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Those are cool.
I have a Ghidorah and a Godzilla. I have a lot of posters at this point. Like
Yeah.
I like Destroy Monsters is my favorite posters. I
have
love that poster.
Like in this room alone, I have Destroy, Godzilla, Biollante, Shin, and -1.
Nice.
Wow.
If I get Invasion of After Monster, then I've got like I'm complete on like all my favorite, having a poster of all my favorites.
Yeah,
Nice.
I need to get the -1. I really want the IMAX -1 poster that they did, where it's like Godzilla, like eyes glowing blue and the smoke and like the destroyed ship in front of it.
Oh yeah.
I need one without just the gigantic IMAX branding on it.
right.
I just want the
The
image.
original art.
Yeah, I just want the image of that.
The big thing
Nice.
is apparel, apparently, where I can't stop buying fucking Godzilla shirts because I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
You can't.
the best thing about Godzilla being so popular is that there's so much stuff now, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, well,
Used to be.
if I get a T-shirt, why not have a Godzilla on it? That seems to be my logic, apparently.
Right.
Yeah,
Shirts
exactly.
Every time.
Back,
Like,
back in the day, that was impossible to find. So I got everything I could find. And now I look back on it, it's like, well, I wasn't that discriminating. I've got all this stuff from 1990. Like, well,
Yeah. That's how I bought the Godzilla Station jacket. Because I was like, well, I'll wear a jacket.
Yeah.
And I like Godzilla now, so let me just go ahead and get this.
and Super 7 at Comic-Con did this whole Godzilla Station theme.
Yeah.
It was like a train station
It
that was
was-
under attack.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. This is one of my favorite things, which is
Ah.
the Marmot Hedera anatomy figure. So it's
See-through.
translucent, and you can see his organs. I guess I don't know how garbage has organs, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ruin it by asking questions.
No, it's
Right, yeah,
beautiful.
that's awesome.
That is beautiful.
Hydra is one of the kaiju that I have the most variant figures of because it just lends
Yeah.
itself to
Oh,
so
yeah.
many great colors and versions. All the stages of Hydra, I love
Right.
all of them.
So, Aaron and Terrence, I just want to compliment you. I've listened to like 6 of your episodes of Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla, and I've really, really enjoyed it. And I'm
Yes,
a
me too.
Godzilla fan, I know, but you guys bring up a lot of insight. I really like how you go through the films and explain certain stuff, things I don't always agree with, but it is it's a great podcast. Your episodes are anywhere between 40 minutes to like an hour or so.
Yeah.
And
at the top
fairly-
end, yeah.
fairly
They're
succinct.
You guys are very engaging.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just such a joy to listen to.
Oh, thank you.
Well, that's great to hear. It's been a fun ride for sure. Like I think it, having done podcasting for a while now, I'm very happy with how efficiently we're getting the show out. Like I feel like because we've done these other podcasts, I feel like there's a good handle on just how to do this if we're going to do this thing. And if Terrence and I both have busy schedules, it's like, well, we need to lock down and know what we want to do.
You find a way.
Yes.
Now, if a listener to our show wants to check your episodes out, where do they go? How do they go about doing it?
You can go anywhere you can find podcasts and just search Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla. That said, we do have a Substack page. That's our main page, which is just Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla at Substack or .substack.com. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on every podcast platform. I feel like if you just type Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla, you're gonna find
Yeah. So
You
far,
want all those other competing two Black Guys Talk Godzilla podcasts.
so far we've risen to the top of the podcast called Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla. Yes.
Right.
We should note LA Comic-Con is coming up.
Oh yes.
And we do have a panel at LA Comic-Con for Two Black
Nice.
Guys Talk Godzilla.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's September 27th. Anybody that's in the LA area or plans to visit specifically just to see us and nothing else, they should come down.
We don't have the time yet. They're still finalizing the schedule, but it should be on that Saturday. Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
that Saturday we'll be there to do our wacky Godzilla show and see what happens.
Awesome. Yeah.
In front of people other than, in front of our DVDs and books and Godzilla toys. We'll be doing it in front of people.
But Aaron, you also do other stuff. Is there anything coming out that you're working on privately that our listeners can
And
look
Terrence
forward
too,
to?
yes.
And Terrence, yes.
Well, I'm going to get to Terrence too. Terrence,
sure.
I want to know you too. So
I'm a man of many podcasts, apparently. I do co-host a show called Out Now with Aaron and Abe. We've been doing that since 2011. My friend Abe and I, we review movies on a weekly basis based on the latest movie releases. We have guests on every episode of those shows. Terrence has been on that many times as well. It's all film because I'm an LA film critic, so I have mainly other LA film critics come on along with other guests from all over the country. So that's a weekly show at Now with Aaron and Abe. It's every week you can find podcasts as well. And I do write movie reviews on a weekly basis for We Live Entertainment. And I'm all the socials at Aaron's PS4. You can find me that way.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Terrence, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, I was going to say how to describe writing occasionally in a way that doesn't make it sound like I'm not writing, but just writing every once in every blue moon. But I do, write reviews at my site at littlenoirtour.net. And coming up, I'm going to the Toronto Film Festival.
Nice.
So there will be a lot of coverage from me that I'm really excited about. And yeah, Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla is my other job. And occasionally I am a guest. I was recently a guest on Out Now with Aaron and Abe. I either have to bully my way onto that show or I just catch Aaron right at the right moment where he'll think of me to be on it. So I have been on a couple episodes. Yeah.
Nice.
Great.
Well, Terrence, I'm really just thrilled with your journey. You've got so many great films in store for you. I'm just really excited.
I'm excited.
I can't wait to hear your explanation or your whether you like
reaction.
it.
Yeah,
Can't
right.
wait. Yeah.
Hey,
We
say,
have to-
man.
We have to have you guys back after you've seen all the Heisei
all
and
of them,
Millennium.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in
Wild
2095,
Right.
both of our podcasts are still running.
We'll meet back here on this day.
When two of the four Monster Party guests have heads in jars at that point, yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
So we'll do it. Yeah.
Well, thanks again, guys, for joining us. This has been so much fun.
Awesome.
Thanks for having
Great.
us.
Yeah, it
It's
was
been
great.
such a joy. Guys, what do you say we give a toast to Aaron and Terrence and Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla
That's fun.
and Godzilla.
Woohoo!
Kampai. Time for a listener shout out.
Shout out. Shout out.
All right.
Guys, you're not going to believe this. Hold on to your hats.
Holy shit.
We have another iTunes review.
Dun, dun, dun.
We are on a roll. We are
Wow.
on a roll. This is amazing.
Wow.
Wonderful. This comes to us from CB22357547479,
Okay.
Okay.
who writes, always funny and entertaining. The recent Jaws show was amazing.
Oh.
The guys do a tremendous job being super fans, but ensuring a fun and informative podcast as a result.
Nice.
Oh, that's great. I love
Short and
that.
sweet. Thanks so much, CB223575479. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rolls right off the tongue.
But that was a fun episode. That
That
was.
was-
It was,
Yes,
it was so much
Pat
fun.
was a great guest.
And Pat is incredible. Like
Yes.
the
Yes.
amount of knowledge that is in his head. And this
I
is
know.
just about Jaws. We know
Yeah, yeah.
he's got other stuff in there.
He does.
Now, we talked a little bit on this episode about Godzilla t-shirts, but what we didn't talk about was Monster Party t-shirts. And I'd like to bring that up now.
Yeah.
Because Monster Party t-shirts are actually available for purchase on our eBay store, which is if you go to eBay and type in Monster Party store or just type in Monster Party podcast and our merch will come up. You can find Monster Party t-shirts. You can find the Monster Party shot glass. You can find the legendary Monster Party baseball cap. You can find Monster Party PPE masks. And if you buy our merch and also happen to be a Patreon member, we will throw in free surprise goodies, courtesy of our good friends Jason Lindsay at Biff Bang Pow Toys and foam fabber extraordinaire Ted Haynes.
Two men who are our generation's answer to the Peanuts.
Now, guys, we just got to banter about Godzilla with these two new friends. They were fantastic, and my head is swimming, and you can't possibly expect me to remember what this Patreon thing is all about.
I don't expect you.
Please refresh my memory.
All right, I will. Well, much like Varan leaps from a lake like a flying squirrel, Patreon leaps from the internet and flies into your sweet spot by providing exclusive Monster Party bonus content. We're talking content like our special audio episodes, shows like Monster Party Masterpieces, Monster Party on the Road, and the mega popular Toy Time series.
Yes.
Yes. We also have our legendary Japan trip video diary, behind the scenes convention footage, and vintage sci-fi and horror fiction edited by our resident Lyscarian, John Bordeaux, and more.
Wow. Well, that sounds wonderful, but I gotta say, I'm tempted to go on eBay now and look for Godzilla TriStar merchandise, which, contrary to popular opinion, might actually be more expensive than you let on. So I don't know if I can afford this embarrassment of riches. How much does it cost?
Well, for the price Hiro Nakajima paid Larry Strothe to move on, you could become a Monster Party patron, and that price is $5. $5 a month.
No.
That's impressive. You can't get a super detailed, extra ugly minifigure for that price.
That's true.
I can't, but I have one.
Well, you know what? I'm sold. How do I sign up?
Well, all you have to do is you go to patreon.com, you go to Monster Party, you click join, you follow the instructions, and next thing you know, you'll be as happy as the King Ghidorah head that bit off the other two.
And speaking of biting off heads, we are on social media. We are on Facebook and YouTube at Monster Party TV. We are on X, formerly Twitter, at Monster Party HQ. Also Instagram at Monster Party HQ, and also Blue Sky at Monster Party HQ. And hey, wherever you're listening to us, please take a moment, find a way to write us a review, just like our recent iTunes review, which I won't name because it's too long. We will really appreciate your thoughts, and we will read them on the air.
And we won't just read them on the air. We'll also save the Earth.
Save the Earth.
Save the Earth.
Save the Earth.
Stop all pollution. Save evolution.
Save the Earth.
Save the Earth.
I had no idea you could go that high. Man, you're like Geddy
Sean,
Lee.
Sean, I'm impressed, man.
Yeah, nice work.
I would have sang more, but the words get stuck in my throat.
Nice. Yeah. Oh. Boom. On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Strothe.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
And stay Godzilla curious.
Hey guys, is that Varan?
No shit. Don't make eye contact.
Terrence, do you have a time limit?
How long do you typically run these?
5-6 hours.
No.
Ooh.
No. Typically, a good show's like 80 to 90 minutes. Is that
That's
a little
fine,
much?
yeah.
Okay. And
Cool.
it's not just, there's a lot of Godzilla stuff, to talk
To
about.
be curious about.
Exactly. And I'm very excited about you being a part of this show because I know.
But more excited about his collection that he just showed you.
Well, you guys haven't done the Smog Monster yet, have you?
Oh, we have.
Hedora?
Oh,
we have,
yeah. Hedora, yes.
Yeah, while we're only releasing so many episodes, we're backlogging a lot of them. So we're almost done with we have one left in the show.
We have one left of the Showa era, which is crazy.
Nice.
Okay. Well,
So
Terrence,
I'm assuming
familiar. Does this look familiar? You know, the
it doesn't,
slide.
Larry.
You remember? Come on, Terrence knows.
Wait,
Remember?
I'm trying to see what it is.
Okay, it's a Godzilla toy.
Yeah, we figured that out,
Okay,
Larry.
and he's like, you may see him on a slide going.
You gotta hold him like more upright and do that kind of move. That's what you.
Well, but it's a slide, Aaron. So it's got to go down this way. So I'm just doing it slow for Terrence. Look, Terrence. Look.
I'm trying. That feels like the kid from that movie. That was
Yes, that was his toy. When he said,
That
"This
was
is a
my
long,
moment.
winding way to get you to notice that was the toy that was in the movie."
Yeah.
Can we move on now?
Yes.
We should spend 10 more minutes on this.
Yeah.
No. It's
Yeah.
like,
What else do you got to show?
Exactly.
Okay.
Got any laundry in the back there?
Look, I know everyone's got, busy lives and stuff.
Yes.
So, Aaron, thank you again for being with us. This is great. So, Terrence and Aaron, what we're going to do is how we get started is Matt is going to open the show with his little creepy voice. We introduce ourselves, introduce the show, say what the topic is, and then we're going to introduce our guests, and that's when you go to town. Okay?
All right.
Great.
All right.
And everybody sounds good. You guys
good.
sound good to me. Do I sound good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
And Matt, it's Are You Godzilla-Curious, right? That's what we're calling this?
Are you Godzilla?
Curious.
Sure.
Cool.
I'm just so excited. Everyone's got their and just a couple things. Terrence and Aaron, if we're going along and you say, "Oh, and I met that Haru Nakajima and I hated him," and I shouldn't say that. Can we go back? It's not live, it's recorded. So if you say something that you go, "I don't want to say that," then Matt will fix it. And the other thing is we're going along, because we're a little older now. If you guys go, "Oh man, I gotta run to the restroom here," just say so. We'll stop. We'll do our thing.
This is edited. It's all smoothed out.
No, there's no.
It depends.
Is there any swearing?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Swearing.
Yeah. Free to swear.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yes. I mean,
I don't need to curse up a storm. I just
come
my
on.
own self monitoring.
Yeah.
No,
I can go Glenn Ross on you if you want.
If we randomly start playing Mario Kart, then I'll start swearing up a storm. But otherwise,
we're kind of offended by fucking shit, but cocksucker's fine. So,
but this is a Godzilla thing. I mean, are we?
Kids could be listening.
Fucking Godzilla,
Kids
man.
aren't going to be listening.
Yeah, man.
And I think we definitely, I know you guys talked about, it was really exciting, both Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1. So we definitely want to kind of, within
Let's do an overview.
Yeah,
We'll go through a lot of them. Yes.
Yeah. If that's cool with you guys.
Well, I'll just note, Terrence hasn't seen anything from the High Sea or the Millennium Era. That's all.
Yeah.
Aaron,
And we are trying to keep them pretty.
I'm trying to be spoiler free for those two.
Okay, so we'll dance around it a little.
Yeah. But so Aaron, I'm just curious though. Have you seen everything
I've
across
seen
the
everything,
board?
yeah.
Really?
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 Of the two, I'm the expert guy, and he's
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm the.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
The
Now.
newbie,
the Daniel
You're
son
you're the
in this,
Padawan being trained.
I was inceptioned into this podcast.
Right.
No, but
Aaron,
Terrence, you're great
Aaron?
though. You're great.
Oh, the wonders will show you, Terrence.
Oh yes.
Your
yes.
insights are, I have a beef, but your insights are awesome.
Oh, I think I might know what potential. Is it a particular one of the kaiju monsters?
No. We'll save it for this.
I'm excited for this.
I'm excited to see which one.
But you guys did see Shin Godzilla.
Yes.
And Godzilla -1.
-1's why he wanted to start this podcast.
Oh, okay.
No,
All
see,
right.
that's I
Very
can see
nice.
that. Yeah.
And then I'm assuming the legendary, all that stuff, right?
I've seen all the legendary ones.
Okay,
And
okay.
I've seen.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Come on.
And
You come on.
Like fun around.
Godzilla and Godzuki. You've seen
Yeah,
that,
if they were
of
only
course.
fun.
We
That's
haven't
canon.
really talked about Godzuki. We haven't delved too
Yeah.
far to the animated stuff as of yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Well,
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Well, no
All
spoilers there because it gets very dark. Well, much like Varan, is it Varan or Varan?
I thought it was
I always go-
Varan.
I always
Varan-
start Varan.
Varan.
Varan is the Japanese one, or
Well, no, Varan. If you watch the American trailer for is like Varan, the unbelievable.
okay, so it's
yeah.
Varan. So it is Varan is the right way to say it then.
Okay,
Oh.
Because Varan is the American.
like red on red and or
Exactly,
yeah.
right.
So
Okay,
what?
got
I
it.
can't
Okay.
say it like an American? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
you can't.
Oh, wow. Why do you hate America?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Sean said it that Varan got a bad rap, and at that moment I should have said Varan rap.
Oh, man. They should have
The thing
marketed that.
This is what I kick myself for the next
Oh,
morning.
man.
I'll find a
gold.
place
Oh,
for it.
James, it's tough
Gold.
life, James.
I'll find a place for it.
I know.
James.
Gold.
Torture, I tell you.
Varan rap. See, now I want to go through. I want to create a whole line of products.
Yeah.
Varan rap. What would Varan rap look like?
How about Godzilla?
I take it it's green. Is it green?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
What do you mean it could be?
What could be Meltdown? So that would be orange.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
oh, okay.
See,
Yeah, that's
See?
fair.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wanted to scoff, and
I
it could
got one.
also be gray.
I got
True.
one.
You're not
True.
going to eat gray Jello.
I will.
Good,
eat
that'd be
gray.
No,
cool.
you won't.
It'd be cool.
How about
No.
this?
Yeah, be hip and cool because
No.
like, ooh, it's great.
All right. How about
Jello.
this? How about this? How about like a dark blue?
Ooh, I can see that.
You know
Not
what I
too
would buy?
dark.
You know what I would buy?
What?
Mopra.
Mopra.
Mop
Move
is
over,
like mop.
move over,
Okay.
Slipper.
Okay, you know
It's
what?
the Mopra.
Okay, okay.
And the peanuts will be the
No,
sponsors.
No. So James, you got and Matt, you just came up with a Patreon thing. If we did an audio, it could be Godzilla products, like
Or just
the
monster products in general.
Monsters
There you
got
go.
together,
I think
and then you
yeah.
could have your Godzilla and your and
We'll have to do the full commercial for that.
You
Yeah,
do the
that-
whole thing.
Yeah, like
Right.
yeah, different cereals. But we could do like
Mothras.
monster merchandise, like
Monster
dream-
merch.
There you go.
fantasy monster merch or something.
No, that's
Hey, Larry.
yeah,
You know you did ballet,
I did.
so I'm sure at some point you wore a Rodan skin.
I did. I did
Yeah.
Rodan skin. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, made from the finest quality of the
Polyester and
wingspan of Rodan.
oh yeah,
Very-
right,
It
sure.
was very stretchy,
Uh-huh.
very stretchy, and
You just gotta flatten it out. You know,
yeah,
right.
pound it out.